Ready?
Level.
So it's Hugo Calderano, the man who won their last 4 encounters. The last 3 quite dominantly to start off with the serve.
Left. One.
A good start for the man on receive, Jang Woo-jin. There it is, the touch play, looking for the opportunity to find a little height, exploit that, and take it down the line.
He's a scary presence, Calderano, with the way he meets the ball on his strokes. So often finishes it straight away. Cheeky, though, the chap from Korea there.
Yeah, we talked about his agility, how flexible he is. Watch the way he maneuvers around this, arm behind the head to sneak it down the line.
Left. 2, 1.
If you're gonna lob the ball right to the baseline, that's exactly what Hugo did. Goes for the big backhand attempt, but Jang Woo-jin takes control. The flick sets it up.
Yeah, that was clever going into the middle there.
Good side spin on that finishing forehand to make the ball tail.
Oh my goodness, the speed. He can move. He is electric-footed, Jang Woo-jin.
Yeah, and he raised his finger there to acknowledge catching the edge of the racket. You could hear it at the point of contact.
Left. 1, 4.
You mentioned some of his good wins. He beat Ma Long as well at the Saudi Smash this year, Jang Woo-jin. Got to the semi-final there.
You remember the scoreline of that?
4-3 to Francisca.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Ma Long win.
3-0.
Exactly, a bagel. Who does that to Ma Long? This guy. 5 serving 1 out of the first towel break. Jang Woo-jin. The way he's won a lot of his matches, they fly a little bit under the radar, but he's dangerous.
Yeah.
5.
That said, taste of danger from the other side. Hugo Calderano with a quick racket on the backhand. Doesn't show. Keeps his shoulders squared up as cross court. Once again, deception here, the flexibility as Hugo Calderano goes through the motions. He's back in this.
He's really been working on his touch play, Calderano. Sometimes with when the ball's placed into his short forehand, he pops it up a little bit, but he's finding ways to protect that area.
3, 6. Left. 3, 6. 7.
Danger of the forehand waiting on the backhand side. That said, Jang Woo-jin.
6, 4.
There we go. Like, I'm pretty sure Hugo just won that point.
Oh, gorgeous. Gorgeous. Finding across the serve and then playing the other side. Look at this.
Now, as I noted before we started the match, Jang Woo-jin, a forehand dominant player, prefers to step around. But after so many points won down the forehand line wide, he'll have to make some adjustments.
Because Calderano knows he wants to pivot. He can bait him there.
Right. Sounds counterintuitive. I feel like Jean-René Mounier's haircut is actually closer to what Jang Woo-jin's is currently. At least used to be. It's got a boyish-like charm to it. Didn't think there'd be so much discussion about haircuts in this. Either way, tied up at 6 points apiece out of the second towel break. Ooh, smart placement here. Jang Woo-jin fast on top of the table. Stretching out the neck there, Hugo Calderano, a little wiggle. I was going to bring up before, started to just that when a player is forehand dominant, it might seem counterintuitive, but playing to their wide forehand can be very effective because they love to pivot, as you mentioned, step around.
8, 6.
2 big points out of the towel break as Jang Woo-jin wins both points on receive. Touch play, fast, soft hands, shuts down the big attacks. Ooh, back edge for a third in a row.
And after the comeback of Calderano, it makes this seem that much more impressive. Wow.
Power for power, and with the racket high, Jang Woo-jin counters out to the wide forehand.
Scuttles across, fantastic coverage. The most compact of strokes. Calderano had put the pace on the ball already.
One game point saved, 3 more to go for Jang Woo-jin. The last 2 receives before this were very effective for him. Or I guess it's 6-6 anyway. And there it is, he takes the game 11-7 for a player who's only taken 1 game in their last 3 matches. Jang Woo-jin takes a 1-0 lead against all odds. A reminder that life is evolving. Their head-to-head continues to Toronto T-League towel. Well, right now, needs some help. It's down 0-1. Think about how many times he's played the wide forehand and won points, and still it wasn't enough. Jang Woo-jin hasn't been punished with enough consistency that he really has to change anything.
I think his forehand inside the table's been brilliant as well. The way he touches off Calderano's serve. I've liked these flicks on the third ball into the middle. Calderano's expecting it to either side. It's been clever here, Jang Woo-jin.
1-all.
He doesn't want to get into the longer points with Calderano. That's where the throw from Brazil really excels.
1-2.
I guess it depends where you're standing, how you get into that point. Calderano's behind the table, Jang Woo-jin's close. He'll have no problems extending the rally a bit if he needs to. 6 out of the last 8 points for the Korean star.
2-all.
And a nice kick serve, a little bit of side with a lot of top. And the placement just right to make it accelerate.
Putting so much pressure on Calderano here, Jang Woo-jin. Again, Calderano's not playing that badly. I'd just say that he's up against a man who is able to react so quickly.
Yeah, he maneuvers so well to cover that middle and play the forehand. Extra spin on this one from down low. Good pressure from Calderano to tie it up. On many occasions throughout this match, we've seen Jang Woo-jin deal with balls that come in spinny right into the elbow, and he manages to maneuver and still topspin it back from quite late, but still with the spin and the quality that's needed and the placement to take the point in the rally.
I think overall Jang Woo-jin's so relaxed, like he's able to commit, and he's willing to, because he's not tense. He's happy to throw caution to the wind in his style. And he has that belief beating Calderano. I mean, he hasn't beaten him, like you say, in the last 4 times, but he has beaten him 5 times before.
Yeah, I was looking back through their head-to-head. It's been quite some time since he was the dominant player. I guess his last win was at the Olympic Games in 2021. The men's team event.
The first meeting spanning back to the Global Cadet Challenge in 2010.
Look at them now on top of the world. These two both have been inside the top 10. Hugo stayed there for some time. Looking to turn things back to the way they've been. Remember, won 12 of their last 13 games before that last one. What a steal. The opening attack was strong, and Ugo still to the short side of the table, plays fearlessly with the forehand.
That's very impressive there. That technique from Calderano, that silhouette. So much spin imparted by Jang Woo-jin. Kept the posture, played the line. Very difficult to do.
5-7.
Type of scoreline we haven't seen in some time. 6-6 last game when they were at the second towel break. Jang Woo-jin would get the next 3 points in a row. What have you seen change from Ugo Calderano to put him in this position?
I think he's been smarter with his push play, his touch play. He's played a bit more into the forehand of Jang Woo-jin at an earlier stage in the rally. What you mentioned in the first game.
Creates a good opportunity here. But again, the precision. Jang Woo-jin with a nice short touch shot. That deep forehand side of the table for Ugo to play the backhand. There it is, untouchable. Itzy a forehand out here. Smooth, low in position, that wide stance. Ooh, footwork tested. It's a game of cat and mouse out here. The chase that is sent over to Jang Woo-jin's side. Good get on the first.
Yeah, beautiful construction from Calderano. Poised for victory here.
Now he's got 4 game points of his own. Little role reversal here as the tables have turned, or at least the players have turned around on the table. Much like it was last game. 1 game point saved. This time the other player, Jang Woo-jin. Second serve to come. Little peekaboo reminder there of how low Ugo gets on the receive, and he takes the game 11-7. So 18 points apiece. These two are tied up at 1 game each. It's a clean receive. The seatbelt shot there just a bit across the chest as Ugo Calderano. Game 3, momentum with Ugo Calderano, serves as well.
1 love.
Nice long serve to the backhand to start it off, just something to mix it up. Make sure that Jang Woo-jin doesn't get too comfortable to come in for a Chiquita receive.
Change of balls here. Little crack perhaps.
I don't think that'd be wise. I think they get tested after matches. Right into the middle.
What do you think he could be with the ball? What do you...
No, good times. I mean, they choose 15, each of them, to select 30 balls that are as spherical as can be. 2 points for Ugo on the serve.
Love 3.
He's touching so well here, Calderano.
Ooh, parallel backhand from behind the table. That'll make you sit upright.
That's outrageous. He looked like he'd been displaced.
Yeah. Leaning there. Off balance for a moment, still no problem, and plays it off the ground back.
5
You remember what the score was in game number 1 for Jang Woo-jin, his biggest lead?
I can't remember now.
Feels comparable to this, but either way, we saw one of these earlier. This is when Truls expressed himself. Nice change of pace out here from Jang Woo-jin. A little bit flatter guidance back.
And nice soft hands, but still transferring the energy forwards, not relying on the rubber to do everything. Shot.
Still going. Oh man, the bend on that. That was the perfect camera angle to really get the full effect of how much spin was on that shot.
No, for sure. How on earth has he done that? That didn't look possible from where he played it.
To even connect with the ball was impressive. The follow through it's like what happened to the torso.
Yeah.
He runs into his own rib cage and puts that much side spin on the ball with the forehand. Jang Woo-jin with 3 in a row from down 0-5, serves back with the thrill from Brazil.
5.
Yeah, nice coverage from Jang Woo-jin. Barely attackable ball. still able to play a fairly powerful shot.
Can understand the frustration on this. A slow, spinny ball to the forehand, cleverly placed and showing the leap. Watch how far the step is here. Lunges, that left foot of Jang Woo-jin comes so far to get around to that forehand. Backhand inside the table, the forehand side there. It's Ugo once again with that flexible wrist.
It's amazing, this shot, isn't it?
He's used it so effectively, so consistently throughout the last few games. Soft hands in the receive game to keep it low, to deter the, well, comfortable attack, let's say, for Jang Woo-jin. Second towel break, and a good social distance on the scoreboard there, favoring the thrill from Brazil.
Yeah, he got within a point, Jang Woo-jin, but 3 in a row.
Right down the line, this backhand, he is owning it.
The scary thing about it is that I'm not surprised he's played it and made it again. It's crazy. The sweet spot of the backhand.
Ooh, survival, a good get on that first wide forehand. Jang Woo-jin manages to stay in the point.
Yeah, that push again, really clever from Calderano. Did well, Jang Woo-jin.
Bit of help off the top of the net here to set up 5 game points. Ugo Calderano has taken control after game number 1. It takes control here just the same. The most dominant one-sided game yet. 11.
Quinn for the second time yesterday.
Now 2-6, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, a little bit of extra time after that ball sits up off the top of the net and cocked back, ready to unload this backhand. So much power and confidence there. Any changes you expect to see from Jang Woo-jin here to take back this match, get into game 5?
I mean, he has to expect that Calderano's trying to get him into the forehand earlier. We'll see if he actually doesn't pivot as much with the forehand from the backhand.
Works out for him here, back to the basics, the bread and butter. But again, a lot of different factors here. It's a good half-long push to get a push that comes off the table. A little bit of a late decision there, earned. Jang Woo-jin sets up the ball attackably well. Ooh, slapped and slapped back.
So nimble, Calderano, isn't he? For quite a tall, well, taller player on average.
Both of these guys, to me, I feel like are just incredibly flexible.
2, 3.
We saw the tape on Lin Yunru's wrist yesterday. How much wrist is used on this shot? Ugo puts that elbow up high, creates a back against the ropes in the early parts of game number 4. Oh, man. A little acknowledgement of fortune here. Jang Woo-jin improvises with a surprise shot, spins it up much higher. You can see the surprise there, and it comes down in a way that, well, Ugo would make you'd think 9 out of 10 times, but sometimes that change of pace, the awkward height on the ball, allows you just too much time to think. Footwork tested and a chase from way out of position. No problem. Ugo Calderano takes the point.
The player that you expect to win the rally isn't. How did Calderano get it out of the middle initially there?
It's that nimbleness, the agility that we've talked about. Short side, smart play. Jang Woo-jin drives it into the backhand. Calderano's backhand is dangerous, but the farther back he gets, the less likely it'll be to dominate the point. Takes his chances there. That ball was out of the sweet spot by most standards.
He'll go for it anyway, Calderano. He blurs the lines.
4, 5.
Talks about that showmanship, but here he's going to have to maintain the discipline against Jang Woo-jin, who is desperate to get a win. First win in a while here against the throw from Brazil.
4, 5.
Did you bring up showmanship because he was far behind the table?
Yeah. He's at home back there. He likes it back there. Training a lot with Simon Gauzy and Oxenhausen.
Being able to survive behind the table and liking it back there, I know what you mean. That said, the odds, if you look at them, when you're behind the table, you'd have to imagine don't favor you.
Yeah, yeah. But it can be tempting sometimes to drift back.
Believe me, I know.
Oh, yeah. You of everybody.
So Jang Woo-jin, since the timeout, has taken the majority of the points to turn things around. Up by 1 on the receive here. Again, staying closer to the table to your advantage. More control, more threatening for the opponent. Less ground to cover, more angular advantage. You just have to keep the racket higher and react a little bit faster, but it all pays off. Good variation in the spin game, playing a little bit more punchy Jang Woo-jin instead of spinning quite as much.
Bet 7, 5.
Oh, power down the line. Calderano with the fishing on the deep backhand of Jang Woo-jin. Finds his way into the table.
On top of each and every ball. Got to see the defensive acumen there of Jang Woo-jin. Didn't give Calderano too much time. They were fishes, they weren't lobs. Calderano's so explosive.
That said, just enough time for Calderano to move back into the table. Oh, step around on this one. Throws everything in, takes his risks. I had my eyes on Calderano for the replay of the long point before. Here, recognizes the long serve quickly, puts a little bend on it.
Okay. Against that heavy spin shot, Jang Woo-jin so reliable with his counter. Taking the ball early, keeping the racket close. Nice forehand touch, good push out. Yeah, he's playing with the plan there.
Second point in a row, we've heard that extra effort from Jang Woo-jin, and it's paid off. Back in front after the chase, Calderano tied it up at 7-all. Extra effort, that wide stance, how far apart the feet are of Jang Woo-jin, especially when he pivots that corner. Steps around.
9, 7.
Oh, you want to see it come down. Swat there after the touch from under the table. Jang Woo-jin sets up 3 game points. Little chop block action to slow it down.
Yeah, first one we've seen from him, I believe.
It's not a shot I associate with Jang Woo-jin so much. Just a reminder, they're all capable at this level. That service.
10, 7.
And in game 5, we are granted. Spectators, you have your wish. The decider, the final game between 2 players with such a rich history, 2 spectacular players in their own right. The show will, you're looking up right now how many times they've gone to a decider.
That's right, Adam. So the 2 times they've gone to the decider, Calderano won, but it was the same between Sun Ying-sha and Chen Qin-tong before. Chen Qin-tong beat her today.
What you're saying is nothing is impossible.
Absolutely. Endless possibilities.
Calderano starting off according to history, converting his serve here to get the lead. Smooth as can be. Little BTS forehand here, smooth like butter, out of reach.
I think Jang Woo-jin's been the better player against the half-long in recent times, and he's pushed half-long better and countered more reliably to help even send this to a decider in the first place.
I was thinking about the personalities. There were a few cool shots of his brown eyes up close with the new blonde hair, and I was thinking, this guy is known as the clown of the Korean team. He's got a wonderful sense of humor, but he's also a real fighter at the table. Makes him spectacular to watch. He's bringing it out of Hugo Calderano as well. It's no easy career at this level. We've seen players, number 50 in the world, beat the top in the world. Players outside of the top 100 from Iran.
Yeah, we've seen how the world number 1 has struggled so much too.
It's just how good they are at the top level.
2, 3.
Jang Woo-jin here looking to change the percentages in their head-to-head in the decider. Long push comes in and he gets low extended to stretch to play that forehand. Benjamin Faraji, by the way, just because he deserves it.
Yeah, that's the win of the year without a shadow of a doubt.
4, 2.
First towel break here and acknowledging any bit of fortune that a player gets. Jang Woo-jin on the chase. Again, sometimes just a missed contact, the edge of the racket, anything that would be considered fortunate for you, not intended. You'll see players acknowledge that. This is the fight he wants. Jang Woo-jin forehand to backhand with Hugo Calderano behind the table. Percentages working in his favor, and they switch sides. Seatbelt to start it off and a good drive after.
Yeah, pinning Calderano on the backhand.
Serving to Jang Woo-jin. Fired up. The pendulum serve, the first serve you learn when you get a coach in table tennis. Anyone who's like, I'm pretty good at ping pong, I want to show up at a local club and see what the next level's like. That's the first serve you will learn, and even the greatest of all time, using that effectively. Jang Woo-jin out here just the same. Calderano as well, pendulum serve with the high toss and following up with the backhand. Feels like a long way to go, but he's within 3 points now.
Steps in on that. Ball recognizes it's pounceable. That's an active play.
7, 3.
He's done well to shut down the Calderano backhand as well, because inside or outside the table, Calderano's dangerous with it. They're just miscontacting it slightly, less of a topspin flick, more of a side spin one it seemed.
Wonderful receive, low to the net, deep. And the forehand flick as well. Jang Woo-jin with a 5-point lead. The man who was the favorite by no statistic, not in the decider, not in their personal head-to-head decider, not in their personal head-to-head, not in recent history, has outperformed all odds to be here, even in Game 5, and now he's up 8-3. Now this is interesting to me. For the second time in recent history, Jang Woo-jin has looked down at his racket, and I could feel that he was spinning the ball for safety a little bit more here. Playing securely not to miss, and said, eh? When in Japan, eh? Eh? 4 serving 8, Hugo Calderano, a ways to go, but it is definitely possible. Jang Woo-jin finding that right balance. Still trying to. Obviously, he's done well to get to this score line. But for how dangerous to play, how much to drive.
5,
Fast, long serve. No timeouts left on either side. Calderano coming back in. Now this is one that you want to watch from every angle just to appreciate what happened. It's unusual. Variety in the push game, different lengths. I was thinking about moisture and humidity. The way Jang Woo-jin was playing these spin shots. It's tricky. We'll see. Plot thickens.
Oh, it really thickens. That's great play from Calderano there. To get it so wide into the backhand.
And it was a net recovery.
Yeah.
Look how off balance he was. Didn't matter. How many times have we seen Hugo Calderano leaning way off to the side and still causing damage with that backhand?
Ooh.
Down the line, a big point there after 4 in a row for Hugo Calderano. Jang Woo-jin acknowledging his fortune from the edge of the racket shot. Side top spin, and then the hooking ball just out of reach. 2 points in front. Jang Woo-jin serves back with Hugo Calderano. The receive game has been strong from Jang Woo-jin. And it's strong once again. He sets up 3 match points to get his first win over Hugo Calderano. In his last 4 attempts, last 3 times Hugo took them decisively. 7 serving 10. Surprise, surprise! Jang Woo-jin breaks on through. The 54% man takes the match and moves on to the round of 8, the quarterfinals. Fresh hair and a fresh start here. Gets his revenge on Hugo Calderano, the thrill from Brazil, 11-7 and 11.